Welcome back to Point Shaver. Today we're going to be talking about UFC 327. We have a pretty good fight card here for us. If I sound a little bit under the weather, just getting over being sick. Sorry about my voice, but we're going to jump right into it. The first fight of the night, we're going to be talking about Charles Radtke versus Francisco Prado. Both of them are pretty good strikers. Radtke's had a little bit better of a career so far in the UFC. I think Prado only has one win, but he's really young. Only 23 years old, good striker, he's very durable, he's able to take a lot of shots, he doesn't really seem to get dazed or knocked out or rocked, he's willing to stand and bang. I've seen him mix in a little bit of wrestling here and there. I don't think it's really one of his strong suits, but definitely a good striker, heavy hitter. He loads up a little too much to where he misses the target a lot, and he's able to get countered and touched up. I do think Radtke's just better. I think Prado was just a little too young. Might need to go back to the regional scene, work on some things a little bit. But I think Radtke's fought better, higher, competition. He's fought Carlos Prates. He's fought higher level guys. Been in there with guys that are much more dangerous and better than Prado. So for those reasons, I think Radtke's going to get it done. I don't see a way that he's going to be able to finish him. Prado's shown so far in his career that he's very durable. So I'm going to go Radtke to get it done by decision, 29-28, maybe 30-27. Should be, for the most part, a stand-up fight. Radtke could mix in some of the takedowns or some of the grappling. Could be a lot of exchanges against the cage with some clinch fighting and some dirty boxing. But for the most part, I think it'll be a stand-up fight for Radtke, and I think he gets it done 29-28, 30-27. And then the next fight, we have Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. Luque's making his debut at 185 pounds. I mean, this was a guy that fought at 155, moved up to 170, had a lot of success. I mean, he knocked out Bilal Muhammad. He's had some really back-and-forth good fights with a lot of top-ranked fighters. He fought Wonderboy Thompson. And then now he's been on a bit of a losing streak and near the tail end of his career, and he's going to be fighting at middleweight against another guy that's at the tail end of his career in Gastelum, who struggles to make weight, but surprisingly he did make weight this time. Gastelum's going to be better, a little bit more suited for the weight class as well. He hits hard, he's fast, he's got good wrestling. Vicente Luque's dangerous as well. I mean, he's got good boxing. He's got good jiu-jitsu as well, a really good darce, really good choke. I just don't see this fight really going to the ground or taking place there. I think Gastelum will be a little too quick, a little bit too durable. I think he's going to be able to eat the shots better. I think if he lands big, I don't know if Luque can. I do think Gastelum will be able to get the job done. I see a finish in this one. I think Gastelum will be able to land cleanly on the chin with an overhand, rock him, put him away with some ground and pound, and I see him getting him out of there in the second round. I got Gastelum by TKO. And then the next fight, we have Chris Padilla versus Markel Medeiros. Both are really good strikers. I really liked what I've seen out of Padilla. He did miss weight, and he is coming in, on short notice. So that's one of the things that gets me teetering on who I think is going to win this fight. I think if it was just plain where they both had a full training camp, I think that Padilla would be pretty clear favorite here. His counter-striking, his speed, his elbows, his Muay Thai is just very good. Medeiros' Muay Thai is very good as well. He's got nasty leg kicks. I think he has a leg kick finish inside the UFC as well. He can grapple as well. Both of these guys very good, very fast. I just think Padilla has a lot more experience. He's fought higher level guys as well. I think Medeiros just might be a little too raw, a little too early on. I think Padilla will be able to mix it up more, stay at range, enter in and exit like he's known to do, in a lot of his UFC fights. He's hard to hit. He's really good at counters. I think the one thing Medeiros can do well is land those leg kicks and maybe mix in a little bit of grappling, maybe mix in a little bit of wrestling, stay at his range. If you allow Padilla to get you to miss and counter, I think you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So for those reasons, I think Padilla still wins this fight. Although he did miss weight, he might have had a tough weight cut and coming in on short notice. I think for him, he just fought higher level guys. I think the striking prowess of him, it's just going to be a little bit too much. For Medeiros, I see this going to a decision, 29-28, 30-27. I don't see 30-27. I can see 29-28 for Padilla. I think he's able to maybe win the first two, might tire towards the third, and Medeiros is able to steal that round. But yeah, I'm going to go with Chris Padilla. We should see a stand-up fight for the most part, but yeah, Padilla should get it done by decision. And in the next fight, we have Lupe Godinez versus Tatiana Suarez. A stylistic clash here. You're going to have Tatiana Suarez, who's going to try to get this fight to the ground any way possible, one of the best wrestlers in women's MMA. And then you have Lupe Godinez, who's well-rounded, but she has really good boxing, really good striking. So it's whoever can establish their strengths the best will be able to win this fight. If the fight can stay on the feet, Godinez should win the fight. We just really haven't seen, other than, in her last fight with Tatiana Suarez, her not be able to get the fight to the ground. So it's hard to bet against her at this because we've seen Lupe Godinez get taken down and controlled. She has good wrestling and jiu-jitsu herself, but I think nothing to the level of Tatiana Suarez. I think for the most part, Tatiana Suarez throughout the rounds will be able to land a takedown, get control. Lupe Godinez might work up the fence, and Tatiana Suarez might be able to get her back and get a hook in, and I think she's going to be able to get the clock to run down just throughout the rounds and be able to steal them and just do enough. I could see this going back and forth, 29-28, split decision, because Godinez is very game. She's got good striking. She's more balanced, well-rounded than Tatiana Suarez. She can also wrestle as well. She can also grapple, and the striking's much better. But yeah, I just think Suarez's wrestling background and how good she is at it is just going to be too much in this matchup. So I'm going to go 29-28. Maybe Godinez starts to turn it up in the third round, but I don't think it'll be enough. So I'm going to go with Suarez to get it done by decision. And then the next fight, we have Mateusz Gamrot versus Esteban Ribovics. Gamrot's coming off a big loss recently against Charles Oliveira. That wasn't really competitive. He got his back taken. He got submitted. Usually he's known for the grappling and the wrestling. His striking's not all too bad. He's easily able to get on his back foot. If you push forward like a guy like Esteban Ribovics does, he will allow you to push him forward, allow him to go on his back foot. It just hurts him offensively with his striking and his wrestling when that happens. Ribovics has been taken down before, but he's able to get back to his feet. He has really good cardio, and his striking is levels above that of Gamrot. So I think in this fight, Ribovics will get taken down. I don't think he will get controlled. I think he'll get up, and I think he'll do a lot of damaging shots. So I'm going to go with Ribovics in this one. Ribovics is a fantastic striker. He's got really good boxing. He's really durable. He's got really good head kicks, really good leg kicks. Kicks all around, I guess, even to the body as well. But yeah, he's very powerful. We haven't really seen Gamrot get TKO'd or knocked out. In a lot of his fights, he's able to use the wrestling whenever he gets in danger. So I don't see this fight going to a finish. I just think that Ribovics at the end of those rounds, after getting up from the takedowns, is going to be able to do enough damage, and he's going to be able to put, just get up in the scorecards on Gamrot. So I see this fight going 29-28 again, another decision here for Ribovics. I think early in the first round, you'll see Gamrot at his best because they're going to be more dry. He's going to be able to get him to the ground. He'll be able to be stronger or hold him. I think as the rounds go on, I think as Gamrot tires, I do think that Ribovics will be able to up the level and be able to turn it up with the output, with the pace, and being able to get back to his feet will really hurt the cardio of Gamrot. And I think Ribovics will just grow in confidence as the fight goes on. I think he wins the second and third round with the striking. So 29-28, Ribovics gets it done on the scorecards. And then the next fight, we have Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. These guys are both really big for the weight class. They're both 6'2", both have a really long reach. I don't think anybody has a longer reach at welterweight than Kevin Holland, but Randy Brown's going to be right there with him. They're both pretty much mirror matches. I think Randy Brown's a little bit more reserved and technically sound and is willing to keep his distance, and he's able to grapple and he's able to strike, and he's a little bit more heavy-handed than maybe Holland is, but Holland's a little bit more wild, a little bit more willing to put himself into the fire, steps forward. He always does this thing where he lifts up his left leg and then comes in with the shot. He's willing to explode into striking exchanges, even with the reach advantage. He's always willing to close the distance for whatever reason. But this fight, I feel like has a chance to be really entertaining in a finish, or it could be really boring. I remember when Jack Della Maddalena fought Kevin Holland, it was pretty lackluster. Jack Della Maddalena just did enough. Kevin Holland might have stole a round, might have stole two. It was a split decision, I think. Very close fight, but it was pretty lackluster. I could see that happening in this one as well. I think the stylistic matchup is just going to make them have a stalemate where they're going to be not too inclined to throw, respect each other's power a little too much, just poke jabs, stay at range, maybe throw some leg kicks here or there, grapple against the cage. So I see this being a boring fight. It's really hard to pick this one. Kevin Holland coming off of a loss against Daniel Rodriguez, not really the best look. Randy Brown, I think, recently came off a win last year against. No, he lost to Bonfim. That's right. But I think he beat Dalby though. No, Dalby was before, and then he lost to Bonfim. He got knocked out. So he's coming off a loss as well. Both of these guys have had stiff competition. I think Holland's just fought higher, better level guys. I think he's just a little bit better with the striking. He's a little bit more powerful. He's a little bit faster. I think Randy Brown's smoother, a little bit more reserved, a little bit more defensively sound than Holland is. But the durability, I think, should definitely go on the side of Holland. We really, in the last fight, it's the first time we've ever seen him in some real trouble on the feet. When he fought Daniel Rodriguez, he almost got finished, but you can see how tough he is, how durable he is. So I'm going to go with Kevin Holland. I think this is another decision. This one seems like it could be a snooze fest. I'm going to go 29-28 for Kevin Holland to get it done on the scorecards. And then the next fight we have Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. This fight was supposed to happen a couple years ago in another organization, Bellator PFL. And these guys never fought, but Pitbull, multiple-time champion in the other organization. He's very well-rounded. The striking, he's very heavy-handed. He always has a very high guard. He's very defensively sound. He's got good wrestling as well. I was pretty impressed with him in the Dan Ige fight. He's one of the few guys that come over from that organization that can actually show he can compete with the top 15. Beating a guy like Dan Ige really shows that he belongs. Aaron Pico, he jumped in, fought Lerone Murphy, who debatably might have beat Movsar and should be fighting, or Evloev, and should be fighting for the belt. He got knocked down in 2 minutes, so he fought a guy that's high level, very high level, but early on he was doing very well. His forward pressure, his power, his striking, he's very fast. It seems like everywhere he could be better than Pitbull. He's more in his athletic prime. He's more of an athlete than Pitbull is. The striking, I think he's a little bit more heavy-handed. The wrestling is debatably who's better there. But he just makes mistakes throughout the fight where he leaves himself exposed and he gets knocked out, or maybe gets submitted. He's just a guy that is close to being a perfect fighter and always comes up short, always finds a mistake. I do think in this one, I do think he can bounce back. I think he's going to be a little bit faster. I think he's going to be a little bit more heavy-handed than Pitbull. Pitbull's coming to the near end of his career. He's 38, I think. Pico's not even 30 years old yet. So he's entering his athletic prime right now. I think the Lerone Murphy fight definitely gave him some good experience, maybe knocked off the jitters. So for those reasons, I do think Aaron Pico will get it done. I think he's going to get a finish in this one. I know Pitbull's been notorious for being very durable and not getting finished, but I think Pico's going to land a big shot and he's going to follow up, and I think he's going to put him away. I do think Pico gets it done. First round, early on, lands a quick shot, and just the follow-up shots will be too much. The ref will stop it. Maybe Pitbull will, debate the stoppage, but I do think Pico will get it done in the first round by TKO. Aaron Pico TKO. And then the next fight we have Cub Swanson versus Nate Landwehr. This is going to be Cub Swanson's retirement fight. You've been hearing all week that he's the last WEC guy that's in the UFC remaining. He's 42 years old, but he hasn't fought in over a year, I believe. But he's better than Nate Landwehr. Should be a stand-up fight for as long as it lasts. It should be a banger. They're both really good with their output, both really good with their striking, with their volume. Cub Swanson's a much better striker, much more technical. I think he's faster. I think he's a little bit more powerful. I don't see a way Nate Landwehr can win this fight other than, the second and third round. He just puts on such a pace that maybe Swanson gets overwhelmed with. But early on, you're going to see Cub Swanson, I think, land some leg kicks. I think he's going to have some good counters up top, some good straight shots, some good hooks. And I think he could rock Landwehr. I think he could finish Landwehr. I don't think it will go to a finish. I do think Cub Swanson does win the fight, though. I think he gets it done by decision. He's just better. And if this fight's going to stay standing, he's not going to be faster. He's not going to be more powerful. He has more output. Nate Landwehr does. And I just don't see him being able to – it's only a 15-minute fight. It's Cub Swanson's last fight. I think he'll be able to take it serious. I think the cardio will hold up for him. He's done this walk, over and over and over again. He's a true veteran of the sport. So I do think Cub Swanson is better, and I do think he gets the job done. I say by decision. I could easily see this being 30-27. I think he wins every round. I don't really know how Nate Landwehr is going to be able to steal a round off of him. He's too easily hittable. His striking defense is not good enough for guys that are as fast and as technical as Cub Swanson, even at the age of 42. So I'm going to go with Cub Swanson to get it done by decision. And then the next fight, we have Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. You see the memes going around where this is going to be the first fight with a double knockout. These guys are both known for having pretty glass chins, both really good strikers, both really big for the division, both really good athletes as well. Both of these guys, Dominic Reyes almost did live up to his potential. Debatably beat John Jones, and after that, he's been on a real downhill. He did have a win streak, and then Carlos Olberg just shut the lights out and really set his momentum back. But Johnny Walker recently just came up off a big upset win. I think he has a little bit more momentum coming into this. I think he's trying to become more well-rounded. Even DC talked about it, that his wrestling, he's came in and trained. He's been trying to wrestle more. He's trying to get his grappling better. I think he's trying to take, being a light heavyweight contender more serious rather than just getting knockouts or, landing big shots. I think he's becoming a more complete fighter. For those reasons, I do think Johnny Walker gets the win here. I think he's going to be able to be more well-rounded. He'll throw in the wrestling. He'll throw in some leg kicks. He'll be a little bit more rangy. I think he's learned from his mistakes of being a little bit too wild. I think he'll look to counter. He'll stay at range. He'll stay poised. And I think Johnny Walker's just more athletic than Dominic Reyes is. I think he's faster. I think he's a little bit more powerful. Dominic Reyes is definitely a great athlete as well. I'm a former football player. Fought John Jones damn near at the peak of his career, and almost beat him. But that Dominic Reyes is not the same Dominic Reyes that we get now. So for those reasons, I think Johnny Walker gets it done. I could see him getting a finish, maybe a knockout in the second round from ground and pound. I think Johnny Walker's better, and I think he's going to be able to get a finish. And Dominic Reyes, unfortunately, is probably going to fall down and fall out of the rankings, and this is going to probably be it for him. But Johnny Walker, I think, does have some momentum. I think he can make a real case to put himself into the top 10, top 5, if he really takes it serious, and he is able to mix in all of the grappling and the striking. So Johnny Walker gets it done, second round TKO. And in the next fight, we have Curtis Blades versus Josh Hokett. On paper, this fight didn't seem like it should be, the fight before the co-main, but Josh Hokett has really done a great job, and a notorious job so far of really making the fight interesting and getting people involved. This is his second fight, I believe, because he fought in the Dana White Contender Series. He just got the middle finger KO. And now he's fighting a guy in the top 5. Curtis Blades is a win away, 2 wins away, always from being in the title picture. All the time. He's fought Francis Ngannou, lost to him twice, fought Derek Lewis, he was really close. And then he beats guys like Jailton Almeida. He beat Kuniev, who just got a win recently over Jailton Almeida as well. He's fought and beaten a lot of guys in the division. He's always top of the ranks. He has the most takedowns in heavyweight history. But Josh Hokett, his pace and what he's able to do does scare me in this fight. Blades should be better on the feet. Blades should be better in the wrestling. But I think the pace and the output that he's willing to put out, and the aggressiveness in his wrestling, and the repetitiveness, how he's willing to go for takedown and takedown and takedown over and over and over again. We saw this again with Blades and Jailton Almeida, where Almeida was able to immediately get the takedown, and he was able to get controlled for 5 minutes. I mean, it's not a good look when Hokit in his last fight smothered the guy that he went against. I think it was Denzel Freeman, and I mean, he TKO'd him from just pure output. Now, Hokit at the end of that round did look exhausted as well, so that does also scare me. It's a double-edged sword here. It scares me for Blades to be able to get controlled potentially for 5 minutes like he was against Almeida. If anybody can do it, I think Hokit could even do it even better, because he'll add in some striking, he'll add in some damage as well. But then Hokit, I saw at the end of the Denzel Freeman fight, he definitely was fatigued after that first round. He is a sprinter in there. He tries to get out of there pretty quickly. He tries to finish fights. God, it's such a tough fight, because both of these guys can wrestle. Both of these guys are good strikers. Josh Hokit's pace is just going to be the main difference. Can Josh Hokit's pace be able to last for 15 minutes if need be? And can Curtis Blades defend some takedowns and be able to keep this guy off of him and land the cleaner shots at range, maybe land some takedowns of his own to slow him down? I'm leaning Josh Hokit because of what I saw in the Jailton Almeida fight. We saw him get controlled, and Josh Hokit will control him. If Jailton Almeida can do it, Josh Hokit for sure will do it. It's like if he can survive the first round, if Blades can survive the first round, then maybe it's a coin flip. But early on, Josh Hokit will be the clear favorite in the first round. If this is a one-round fight, Hokit probably wins every time. Such a tough fight, though. I'm going to go with Josh Hokit. I trust that he will be able to have the cardio to stand in there and have enough output to get it done. Curtis Blades just shown that he's able to get controlled. But he's a better striker. He's a better wrestler, I think. He's a more well-rounded fighter. He's fought higher-level guys. Josh Hokit's never even fought somebody top 15 in heavyweight division. This guy Curtis Blades has fought, some of the best of all time. So it makes me feel a little foolish picking Josh Hokit here, because Blades has such the advantage when it comes to experience and fighting on a big stage and fighting big names, and he's seen it all, done it all. But man, Hokit brings something different to the division with the pace and the pressure and the constant takedown threat and the striking. I'm going to go with Hokit to get it done. I think he gets it done by decision. I think he'll win the first 2 rounds, and then maybe in the third round he'll just gas out, and Blades will not be able to get a finish. He's also going to be exhausted, but he can steal a round. So I'm going to go with Hokit to get it done, 29-28. And in the co-main event, we have Azamat Murzakanov versus Paulo Costa. This is a great fight. One of these guys could definitely be challenging for the belt next, or there's one away from being able to challenge for the belt next. Murzakanov, 16-0, a lot of finishes. He's a great striker. He's got a popular highlight where he had that flying knee. I think he's knocked out pretty much everybody he's fought in the UFC so far. This is definitely his toughest task so far, though, going against a guy like Paulo Costa, who's very good striker, very good kicks, very powerful, very durable. I don't know why Paulo Costa should be the underdog here. I know Murzakanov's record, 16-0, perfect, no blemishes, but Paulo Costa as a recent, if you saw the fight against him and Kopylov, you would see that Paulo Costa might be able to beat a lot of, if not all, light heavyweights in the world. That performance that he had against Kopylov was incredible. I think Costa's better. I think Costa is a better striker. I think he hits harder. Maybe not hits harder, but definitely kicks harder. I think he's been in there, fought Adesanya, fought higher level guys. So I think for him, he's going to have definitely a better experience in there. He's able to go 15 full minutes. I do remember when he fought, I think it was either Devin Clark. Who did he get the flying knee knockout against? Whoever that was, I think it was a wrestler. But he was losing early on in his career in the UFC, and he was able to get the flying knee knockout. We've seen him against lower-level guys lose rounds. And I think against a guy like Costa, not a low-level guy, I think he could easily steal some rounds. It's not really that easy to hit Costa. Costa is able to get leg kicked pretty often, but I think Costa, as of recent, has done a much better job of being defensively sound, being first, getting back to what he was when he was an undefeated fighter. Costa is one of the best light heavyweights in the world, one of the best strikers in the division as well. I just don't see a way that Mirzakhanov, without getting a finish, which the only time Costa's been finished is against Adesanya, who's at that time, was unbeatable. So I'm going to go with Costa to get it done. I think he gets it done by decision as well. 29-28 decision. I think Costa would just do enough in each round to be able to take advantage and take the lead out on the judges' scorecards. I just think he's better. I think it's a little bit too big of a jump up for Mirzakhanov. Costa's fought higher level competition. He's just as good of a striker, if not better. So for those reasons, I'm going to go with Costa to get it done by decision. And then the main event, we have Carlos Ulberg versus Yuri Prochazka. This fight is, almost guaranteed chaos. I feel like someone's going to get knocked out here, and this fight has to get finished. I don't see a way that this fight will go 25 minutes. Yuri Prochazka has been 25 minutes once, and he finished Glover Teixeira in the last minute. I don't remember a time Ulberg has went 5 rounds. I don't think he ever has. He's gone the distance before. He fought Jan Blachowicz, and he convincingly, I think at least, maybe not convincingly, but he won the fight against a guy that's really hard to beat. Going to the judges' scorecards, this should be chaos. This should be Prochazka probably early on is going to be getting, touched up a lot. He's going to enter range, and Ulberg will counter. It's just all about if Prochazka can eat those shots. He has a really nasty check left hook. His striking is very good. He's very disciplined. He's able to stay at range. He's got good kicks. And we've seen Prochazka get his lead leg chewed up. Almost in every fight recently. Ever since the Pereira fight, he's been getting his lead leg chewed up. We saw it against Rakic. We saw it against Roundtree. He gets his lead leg chewed up pretty often because his base is so wide and he stands so forward. If Ulberg can't land the kill shot, as the fight goes on and on and on, Prochazka will gain an advantage every round that this fight lasts. Every minute that this fight lasts, Prochazka will have a better chance to be able to find a finish or get it done because he thrives whenever things get messy and thrives in dogfights. Ulberg, we saw again in one dogfight. It was early on in his career against Kennedy and Nzechukwu, and he got knocked out after dominating Kennedy and Nzechukwu. I could see the same thing happening with Yuri. He lands a lot of shots. He's up early, and then over the 7th minute, the 8th minute, 9th minute, I think Yuri Prochazka just grows and grows and grows and is able to find you and is able to land those kill shots because every single time Yuri Prochazka is able to land on you consistently, he will put you away. He's put away everybody except when he gets put away. Like when he fought Alex Pereira, he got knocked out both times. But against Glover, put him away. Against Rakic, put him away. All these fights he's losing. He's losing against Teixeira. He's losing against Rakic. He's losing against Roundtree. He's losing. It was 1-1, maybe. I think it was 1-1 against Jamal Hill. Third round puts him away. Where Jamal Hill definitely had a chance to be stealing that third round until he got clipped. So this is a guy, as the fight goes on, gets better. Dominic Reyes' fight was pure chaos. Is able to put him away as the fight goes on, where the fight gets dirty. So this should be a Prochazka fight where he's able to get the belt. I think with Alex Pereira being gone, the rightful guy who before injury should have been the champion, the guy who probably should have stayed champion if Pereira never existed. I think Prochazka still would be champion to this day. I'm going to go with Prochazka. I think Ulberg's technically better. He's able to land at range. He's able to have a pretty fight. If this fight can stay pretty and he's able to keep it at range and he's able to dictate the fight the way he wants it on his rules and on his terms, Ulberg will win every round. But that won't happen because Prochazka will enter range. Prochazka will be able to dare you to hit him, and he'll eat it. He'll keep pushing forward, and you're going to tire, and he's going to break you, and you're going to get finished. So for those reasons, I got Prochazka getting it done. 3rd round KO, just like against Roundtree. I think Oldberg starts to tire. I think Prochazka heats up. It starts to be able to put some combinations together. Oldberg's power, it doesn't translate later into the rounds. He's able to eat those shots and walk through them. I think he finds a finish. So Prochazka gets it done by 3rd round KO. And that's it for the reviews. We will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you guys have a good fight week.